What's up, guys? Mike from Northeast Precision. Today we're going to start a new series that I'm going to call the 20 round review. Yep, 20 rounds. So ammunition prices, as you guys know, have come down a little bit, but still pretty darn expensive. So I'm going to do a quick dive into each gun and give you basically my initial impressions, whether I think it's worth shooting more, whether I would say just buy it off of that first impression alone, or if just from that first impression I can tell I really don't like it. Again, this is my personal opinion. I'm not an expert. I'm not some combat veteran or something like that. So the first gun we're going to get to, as you guys can see here, is the HK P30S. It's been around for a couple years, so there's plenty of other reviews out there, but with everything else that's on the market, is it still a viable option? Realistically, from my just first handling with it, I do think it is. Basic rundown, it's going to be a double stack 9mm, kind of a mix between a compact and a full size, similar to like a Glock 45. You have a fuller size grip and a compact slide. It's going to have a 4-inch barrel, come in at about 25 ounces for the S model, which is the safety model. 7 inches long, 1.5 inches wide, and 5.4 inches tall. These guys are going for retail is around $800, so it's definitely something to ponder. It's not cheap enough to, you know, just kind of, hey, let's blow a couple bucks on a HK today. Basic overview, P30S, like I said, is a double stack 9mm, has double action, single action with a safety, so that is the S model. The S model is going to come with a ambi safety, ambi slide release, and an ambi mag release. Speaking of magazines, these guys are 10 rounders. There is a 10 round variant, and then the other one is going to be 17, if I understand right. Both are going to come with 2 mags. I have seen a couple ads that say 3, but I have yet to actually see one that has 3 mags, so I could be wrong on that, but I would say you're going to get at least 2 mags with it. But there's definitely more out there. They are cross-compatible with a couple other guns. The P30S mags are going to be anywhere from about $45 to $90, depending on what size you get. There's 10s, 17s, all the way up to 20, I believe. So there's other options out there, but that's just looking from mainly HK Parts and Gun Mag Warehouse. So some of the pros and cons of the gun. I'm going to go over some of the stuff I like and some of the stuff that I don't like about the gun. So first thing that occurred to me is kind of playing with a couple draws. It really seems to draw nice and natural and point naturally. I feel like I'm basically just instantly looking down the sights when I pick it up. It does have the modular grip, so you can change the back straps and the palm swells for it. Really can kind of tailor it to your own hand. I'm a big fan of hammer fired guns. It's not to say striker fired guns are bad, I just prefer a hammer. Sometimes you do kind of get left out and stuck with either the decocker or a safety. This guy's going to come with both right out of the box. So I also have a P07 suppressor ready that I'm going to compare this to in a couple ways. That comes with both, but you have to swap back and forth to do one or the other. This guy is going to have both out of the box, so you have the ambi safety, and then the decocker button is on the back. Read a couple places for lefties it's a little bit nicer, because a lot of times it's on the left. Like for SIGs, it's only on the left side of the grip, so it's kind of awkward to manipulate as a lefty. Does have nice manual sights. Does have nice steel sights. They're sort of night sights. It's not, I don't really think it gets any bonus points for being night sights, because they're called the reactive sights or something like that. They basically just glow in the dark. They're not true tritium, so they're not going to glow through the night. These are going to soak up light, and then when you go somewhere dark, they're eventually going to die off and stop glowing. So if you're outside for a while, or it sits in a safe and you pull it out in the safe, bump in the night, they're not going to be glowing. So I would recommend a tritium sight. Be kind of nice to see it with as expensive as they are out of the box. Has a light rail. What else? I think it's got a little bit nicer of a grip than the 229. I do have a 229. Now, granted, mine is also in 40/357 SIG, so there is a difference there. It has a little bit less of a texture grip in the front on my 229. This guy has some finger grooves, but not as pronounced as, say, a Gen 3 Glock. Kind of similar to that feel, but I think it's a little bit easier to grip. The texture's not too rough, but seems to be able to get a little bit, you know, a decent purchase on the grip. There's not too much of a flare to the magwell. That being said, it does seem pretty easy to get the mags in. I've had a few issues with my SIG mags. Occasionally you can catch that front lip on the front of the grip on my 229 and my 226. I've done it once or twice, just kind of freak things. These seem to feed pretty well, but like I said, there's not really any flare to it. It does have a little cutout there that you can rip a mag free if it gets stuck. These were kind of designed to be a combat pistol or potentially a duty pistol, so it's not really going to compete with like a SIG P365, but there is plenty of other options out there in the same size market. The Glock 19, the Glock 19X 45, the SIG 229, 228, the P07, the P09 from CZ are both going to be polymer grip with a hammer, so they're pretty similar. Like I said, I do have a P07 suppressor ready, so that's what I'm mainly going to compare it to. So some of the cons, the S, you obviously do have the safety. Some people don't like having a safety. It's potentially something else that could get in the way of shooting it when you need it to. That being said, there's the standard P30 model, so very easily could just get the P30 or just not use the safety. So the trigger's okay. This is clear and safe. Single action, it's not too much take up, a little bit of take up, and there's the wall. Double action, it's pretty long, pretty heavy, but kind of expected for a duty aimed pistol. Alright, P30S, running the shot timer. First set is going to be 3 single shots from the draw, about 7 yards. No part time. Just gonna run it, see how we do. One 6.6. One 5.9. 1.74. Alright, next is going to be 5 shots, single action from about 10 yards. Not going to reholster, and these I'm going to shoot without the X300. And in good old Pennsylvania fashion, I can't count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so next up, that's going to put us with last round. Still have one in the gun. So we're going to do 1 5-round group from about 5 yards quickly with the shot timer. That is going to involve a mag change in there. 845. First one was in 4.5 seconds because gun has a safety and I didn't turn it off. Number 2 was in 712, 758, 801, 845. Alright, follow-up group, still staying pretty much within the square. I believe this guy was already up. Alright guys, you're gonna have to bear with me a little bit. Allergies are wrecking me right now, so I'm super congested. So apologize for that. We did have a little bit of break in there between filming the last two. All in all, I think it's a solid gun. The P30S has some nice features. You can get the safety, you get a decocker, polymer frame to make it a little bit lighter, but you still get hammer-fired double single action. Realistically, if you're looking for something with the HK reliability, it's a phenomenal gun. Me personally, it points very naturally, so that's always a plus in my book. And there's a cat. I apologize. This is Steve. This is all he does, is gets in the way. Inclusion. Sorry about the cat. The P30S is a nice gun. I think it's pretty solid. If you want the reliability of an HK and have the wallet to afford it, by all means, go for it. Beware that your parts are going to be a little bit more expensive. The gun itself is going to be a little bit more expensive. If you're looking for something comparable to that, so you want a polymer frame with a hammer double single action, maybe check out one of these guys. So, as I mentioned before, this is the P07 suppressor ready. It's about 550 bucks. Comes with suppressor height sights and a threaded barrel. Kind of hard to beat. Again, there's some people who are super dedicated to the CZ brand or the HK brand or the SIG brand. Realistically, I think this is another super underrated gun. But, so today's review is specifically for the P30S, and I'm going to say it's a buy. It's definitely a solid gun. So if you guys have any comments on that, feel free to drop them down below, and I'll catch you next time. And the SIG 1 to 10 video is coming. I apologize. It's been a long time trying to shoot this, and ammo has been expensive lately, and I've also been stupid busy. So, alright guys, thank you. Bye.